Hey there sports fans, Ribbo here for Caravel Gaming. I'm gonna break a little illusion for you right now, because of course this has come out a day after the previous video. But my quest log is full! It's almost like I've took a break for a couple of days, and it's almost like I don't do a video a day, but instead do maybe 4 videos on one day, and then take a break for a couple of days. Crafty Stuff just hit 500 wins, as you saw on the last video. And we've got Pally Warrior victories, Hunter Mage victories, and Pally Priest, so particularly looking at getting these Pally dailies out the way, but if Hunter Mage, Warrior or Priest gets offered, then they're also okay. Guess we're playing some Pally since we've got 2 dailies to do.
I will fight with honor.
Oh, wow. That is a harsh start to this one. I want both the Defender of Argus and the Equality. Both completely ridiculous cards when used correctly here. Man, this is a tough one. I guess we go with the Equality, but I'm crying when I do it there. This one's a lot easier. This is pretty much like the second pick of all the commons here. I'd maybe take like a true silver champion over it. Spiteful Smith is very nice. We don't have any weapons yet. Consecration's just a bit nicer there. Hand protection is actually okay in the kind of paladin decks that I build, you know, where I want to get a minion out on the board, because it's fundamentally you're paying 1 mana to kill their guy. It's like, shield my guy up, attack your guy, kill it, my guy still lives. So, you know, in the right decks there are spots for hands of protection there, but the Berserker's just a ridiculously good card. All of these are fine. Consecration's just finer. Wow, another Consecration. Okay, well, I've got an Equality, so and the other 2 cards are pretty unplayable. We could take the Light's Justice here, you know, because we have an Equality, so we get to beat stuff up that we've just turned into 1 toughness there. The Warlord's very nice, but we have to take the Swampoos. Don't really have a choice in the matter there. We can't take a Snapjaw because we've got so much going on at 4 mana. Gurubashi Berserker isn't really that brilliant in Paladin decks. It's a lot stronger in like a Mage deck where you can just ping it. So I think a Crocolisk is fine here. All we can do is take a big guy, really. Not particularly awe-inspiring, those cards. Obviously Argent Protector's ridiculous. Frostwolf Warlord is also pretty ridiculous here, so I don't mind taking that. As you know, I'm not a fan of Twilight Drake. Mana Addict's not particularly special either, so we're taking a Wild Pyromancer here. We've got a lot going on at 2 mana already. And it's just carrying on here. We're just being offered 2 or 4. The Mad Bomber, I'm not convinced we can use it, because we're going to have a lot of minions out, and he's going to end up blowing up our side of the board. And the Murloc Tidehunter for the same reason. We've just got so much going on at 2. So this is probably the weakest of the 3 cards of Berserker, but I think it's right to take it there. Well, we've got something at 3 mana finally, and it's a Raging Worgen, which is a solid guy. I'm not sure we need too much else at 2 mana here, so I think taking a Hand of Protection's okay. Yes, another consecration. Number 4. I think Cult Master's a fine pick here, even though it's 4 mana. Do we have anything for 3 in this deck? We need a few fatties. Like, I'd love to take this Owl, but Stormwind Champion's really good in Paladin decks. What is this? This is so ridiculous. It's like everything's just cost 2 or 4. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Fine. Well, I mean, it's amazing, so I'm taking it, but do we have stuff? Here we go. Finally things that cost 3 mana. Oh, dear. Just a super weak selection of picks there. Why are you forcing me to take one of these cards? Can I do anything other than take a Core Hound here? Can I really take a Goldshift Footman? It's horrible. I can't, can I? Core Hound just feels really super weak as well. I can't take it. I just can't bring myself to take such a bad card. Can't do it. It's got to be the Core Hound. Yet more at 4 mana. Oh. Some more shocking cards to choose from here. Oh, I can't take the Hammer of Wrath. I've already got enough of that going on. Thank you very much. Yeah, Flesh-Eating Ghouls, pretty solid. So 2 more picks to try and finish this deck off. Venture Company is an absolute beast. I love him to death. But a second Stormwind Champion. I love him to death as well. So I'm going to take him. You know, he's just such a big, like, game changer. As a ooh! Favours from the deck there at the end. Tinkmaster Overspark probably has, like, a ton of value in this kind of deck. Because I'm churning out a few early minions here. Onyxia's, well, it's just Onyxia. And Cairn Bloodhoof is also just Cairn Bloodhoof. The only downside to the Tinkmaster is, of course, it's a little bit random. When you turn your, 3/2 into a 1/1. But you can just, produce a 1/1 soldier anyway and go for it. Not a huge fan of the randomness behind it, however. But the other 2 cards are probably too slow for my liking, so that's probably the reason for taking it. Yeah, it's going to be one of those things where we either smash somebody's face in on turn 2 after coining into it or something like that, or we just go, oh, that was a waste of a turn. Of course you can use it on your opponent's minions as well, if they suddenly blunder out this massive guy. It's like, well, I'd rather it be 5/5.
With honor, justice demands retribution.
So a bit of a ropey start, but we are keeping the consecration for that reason. Yeah, it's looking a lot better now. So, if our opponent powers out a few minions here, we just build up to old consecration.
It's time for a little blood.
But he's saving his coin, so it'll be interesting to see what he's got planned. I don't have much planned myself next turn. I'm certainly not using the Swamp Ooze. Looks fine to me. We could just play out a 1-1 here. That's also an option.
Who you want to kill?
My plan is let him kill my guy, and then he'll drop another guy, and potentially I can consecrate.
Not on
Or if he plays an Argent Protector, I can just drop the True Silver Champion, and that has the same desired effect, really.
For justice.
I'm going to leave this guy in stealth, rather than beating him up for 4, because I don't really want to trade it with the 2-2. I'd much rather, you know, consecrate to kill that.
Join or die, or both.
That works well for me. That's really the power of stealth. You know, you don't have to beat them up if it looks like being a particularly bad trade that's going to go on afterwards. It's totally fine to wait a turn. Well, he's still got 4 mana here, so what's he going to do with it?
Let the pain speak to me.
He's going to make some pretty weak minions there. Pretty weak minions. I quite like the idea of just beating them up. That works for me. So he should have done the Acolyte of Pain first, because he might have drawn an Argent Protector to save his other guy.
Get behind me.
And I think now's definitely a good time for an ooze.
For justice.
And it also sets up the kill
For duty.
with the Stormwind champion next turn. And, you know, this has all come about due to going first. Going first, such a ridiculous advantage in this game. You know, anyone who tells you the coin's overpowered, no it's not. No it's not. You can just crush people going first if you build your deck correctly. Also, it helps having like 4 consecrations, I might add.
You gotta be kidding me!
And he's dead.
Reporting for duty.
So, sucks to be him, but what can you do?
Behold the might of Stormwind! The battle!
There's our 2 dailies ticking over nicely. We have movement. So wondering when I was going to get an opponent there.
Uther versus Gul'dan. Your soul shall be mine. I will fight with honor.
So we're going second, so this means maybe having quite a defensive hand, really. And this looks okay. So I don't mind baiting Swamp Ooze out of my opponent here. Light's Justice really isn't going to be doing too much. And if he just wants to sit there and draw cards, then, you know, I'm cool with that as well. See if we can get a card out of this Cult Master. I'm actually playing something my 3/3 can kill. And trade with, should I say. But it's potentially we can set up a, like a big trade-off with equality.
Pass me that arc light spanner.
Of course. For justice.
Join or die, or both.
I don't think this guy quite understands the advantage he has going first. You know, and how really he should be doing something with it. Because ultimately what's going to end up is, I'm just going to overwhelm him. With my little sort of 1/1s, you know, the longer the game goes on.
Why do you
Finally he's doing something. He's realised he has to play minions at some point.
Join or die, or both.
for justice?
Do you like to play with fire?
So he's been focusing way too much on trying to get card advantage and like not enough on actually doing stuff.
It's time for a little blow.
Reporting for duty.
Not on my watch.
Now we could attack the 3/3 here, but we're just gonna let him enrage. Awesome. Seems fine to me.
Why do you fall? The frost wolves stand ready.
Well, seems like a good time for equality, right? Don't you say?
For justice.
Now we could consecrate here, but
To battle.
I like saving that.
Who you want me killed? This
Reporting
is
for
my
duty.
responsibility.
And just getting some more value out of this likes justice.
Put this apple on your head. Pass me that arc light spanner.
Well, he hits perfect. Which is a little bit saddening, to say the least.
I wonder.
Behold the might of Stormwind. Reporting for duty.
Just me and Mr. Bitey.
Bring me steel.
And he's set himself up for the consecration here nicely. So this works out pretty well.
For justice. Reporting for duty.
That was pretty much how I thought it would go down.
What you looking at?
Yet more big guys. Well, we've got him dead in 2 turns, so not really the worst.
For justice. To battle.
But he's certainly made us work for this one. And he's there just trying to get an answer to this weapon with a taunt. And he pretty much knows he's dead at this point. So, what he should have done is just, I don't know, beaten me up with the 8-8 rather than taking out my guy. Or, actually what he should have done, he should have maybe used his smaller guys to take out my 6-6 and left the 8-8 by itself, just to bash away at me. Because the way he did it did expose him to consecration, which was really, like, the only way his 8-8 was going to die at that point. Ooh, new quest. How awesome. Hunter or Mage, eh? I wasn't aware you could stack up more than 3, but it turns out you can. Or maybe you just have to get a gap in your daily quest schedule before the day finishes to get the new quest for that day. Is this the same guy? It could well be.
I will fight with honor.
And he's going first again, and I've got another slow hand again. Ah, good old core hound. How useless you are. So we might be saving this coin for like a turn 3 consecration at this rate.
Reporting for duty.
Well, we can coin into a silence, that's also an option. Beat this guy up for 1. I mean, Consecration's not a terrible option in this spot, due to the fact that, you know, the Blood Imp's going to be extremely annoying for like every turn afterwards. But maybe we can get a little bit more value out of this.
My eyes are open.
To battle!
For justice!
But I definitely like the idea of beating up the ghoul for this turn. Gets it down to a more manageable size.
I wonder.
You call that a way?
Seems fine to me. Well. Well. I think we do have to consecrate.
Of course.
To battle!
And we still got our coin, which is nice.
Out and round and
You call that a way?
Equality consecration again, that's an option. Could also just silence the imp. Could coin into a reckless rocketeer.
Let me think. I wonder. I don't have enough mana. I must move quickly.
Yeah. Probably okay. Just consecrate there, to be honest.
I am not a morning person.
So we can either silence this guy, beat up an imp, make a 1-1, or we can just run the Rocketeer into it, or we can just make the True Silver Champion, beat something up. We could also silence the Imp Master if we think it's really going to be a problem, which I don't think it is.
Your magic shall not save you.
Reporting for duty.
For justice.
So let's get a couple more bashes out of our little weapon here. I like justice before we swap it over.
Your magic shall not save you.
Behold the might of Stormwind!
For justice!
Die, mage.
So he's still got plenty of life. There's no real reason for us to worry about him beating us up with like a 4-3. He certainly likes his mortal coils.
I'll get right on it.
So it's probably time to go ahead, swap the weapons over.
I wonder...
Or maybe it's not. No, it probably is. Probably seems fine to do that.
For justice!
Or both.
And just play the Cult Master out there. Obviously he's going to get eaten, so... Got a pretty expensive hand here for this deck.
Pay attention, class.
Reporting for duty.
And we're just going to make a 1-1 since it's going to finish off the 5-5 next turn. But you can see how much harder it is going second and always having to react to what your opponent does. You know, this entire game it's just been him going minion, 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 and me going try to deal with it, and then him going minion, minion, minion again.
Do I have to?
Well, that looks like being game. I don't think we can deal with this taunt. What are you taking so long about? Come on, just play the card.
Shields up.
Seems fine. And so that's not good enough for us, so we lose this one.
The victory
Again, one of those games where I think if we go first, we actually do pretty well against him. But going second because we didn't have the Argent Protector, which is really one of the few cards we have for turning the game round. Because we don't have any Shattered Sun Clerics, and we turned down the Defender of Argus, so we got no real ways to like pump our guys up, which means we don't have any Dark Iron Dwarfs either. So you know we're always going to be behind in that respect. And of course, Tinkmaster, he's been hiding. And uncharacteristically, we had, like, both times we played against that Warlock, I think it's the same guy, you know, beat him one time, but we had just a slow hand both times, despite all of these cards at 2 mana in the deck.
I will fight with honor.
Consecration doesn't really work that well with Wild Pyromancer, unless you like killing your own guys. So, this is a pretty awesome hand if he doesn't coin something out turn 1. Whee!
Do you like to play with fire?
So if he wraths here, it'll be sad face, but if he just makes a minion, it'll be happy face. Oh, awesome. Awesome. That's especially good. Very happy to see him do nothing there.
I feel itchy.
Looks good. Looks fine to me. So now we get to eat his side of the board. Well, we could eat it with a consecration. That would be... No. Not with this Wild Pyromancer here. That would be silly.
Not on my watch.
Job done. Reporting for duty.
So this makes it still a bit painful for him to, like, attack the 4-1 directly. A swipe here is pretty good.
Mess with Tusker.
But he can't be happy about attacking the 4-1 there.
Sorry.
I don't know why he's apologising either. He took 4 damage. Works pretty well for me. So again, still can't use these consecrations. Could heal up, I guess.
The battle.
Heal up after bashing something with the Gurubashi.
Bring me steel.
Seems fine to me, I guess.
The battle.
For Najatar.
This is my responsibility.
So we're just going to beat him up, and at that point in the game where he starts to turn things around, that's when we're going to use the equality and consecration combo. Really now the game's just getting too hard for him to actually get back into it here.
Reporting for duty.
To Northrend.
Now really starting to overwhelm him. Please attack me, I would love it if you attacked me. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. 4, 5, 6, 7, 11.
For justice.
I was just working out how low we could have put him there.
Reporting for duty.
Just saving this Spellbreaker for if he makes a big minion with Taunt. Just like, yep. Silence that, beat you up. But,
It's time
weren't
for
ever
a
really
little blood.
threatened by this guy. And now finally he's decided to play all his minions out there.
The battle.
So I guess I'll just kill him. I was just counting up the damage going. Yeah, that works. Sometimes it takes me a little bit longer when I'm distracted by cans of Coke and big cylindrical tubes that contain paprika flavoured Pringles. I do like spicy food. Paprika is literally chopped up peppers, you know, so those big bell peppers, red and green.
Justice demands retribution.
Wow, yeah, I'll keep. Could maybe have thrown back the Jungle Panther, but definitely not throwing back either of the True Silver champions here.
Like to play with fire?
So it's important to get a presence out. If I wait till turn 2, he can play like his own Argent Protector, put a shield on his guy, beat up my guy. So we definitely have to like lob the guy out there turn 1.
Wanna blow something up?
So treacherous. They're always treacherous, these Mad Bombers. They absolutely never listen to anyone.
Reporting for duty.
So we have to kill his guy again. Can't let him have a really sick play with his Argent Protector if he does have one.
Reporting for duty. The battle.
This is particularly good because, of course, his True Silver champions won't be able to kill it as well. So, you know, it's a pretty strong play on this turn. Like, it almost forces him to consecrate just for one guy if he wants to do something ridiculous himself. Also means, like, cards like Hammer of Wrath, again, you know, he can't use here, which maybe he'd like to use. So let's go ahead and start the beats, really.
Ready to ride.
Not.
And there is the Ardent Protector, so, you know, we cleverly dodged that one.
May my ancestors watch over me. Reporting for duty.
This is pretty standard fare.
Reporting duty.
You know, like, bust out the weakest guy to...
This time for sure.
Oh, of course.
For justice.
Yeah, he sucks. Maybe we should have traded for some, well, picked up some brewmasters in the draft. Like, pick him back up, put him down. Can I have a 5-5 this time? Nope, you can have another 1-1.
Reporting for duty.
Like, endless stream of 1-1s, really. So I like just putting the big guy down here. Cause it's something for him to deal with. So he has to have like a Blessing of Kings or something there. And we've got like a Spellbreaker and Consecration and Acidic Swamp Oozes. So we've got lots of answers to what he wants to do.
I've got the beast
I
in
am
my
sorry.
sight.
That's also fine. Just an extra target. So we can like play the champion and consecrate here.
I smell blood.
Any more guys? Awesome. Really fat consecration.
For justice.
So holding our own despite going second.
They all bend to my command.
Reporting for duty.
Well, we could consecrate here, but we could try and get greedy, I suppose.
Let me think.
I'm just looking at this Spellbreaker, whether it's worth holding on to him too much longer. Probably okay for another turn, I reckon.
It's time for a little
Like
blood.
to play with fire?
Reporting for duty.
For justice.
So if he's got to consecrate, he should definitely use it here. There's no doubt about that. Cool thing is if, like, you can, in situations like this, you can consecrate yourself and the Wild Pyromancer will trigger the Amani Berserker.
Not on my watch.
So we don't even have to use our silence here.
Reporting for duty.
Just get to straight up consecrate again.
The battle. Reporting for duty.
And this 3-3 Worgen really stops him from playing a 1-1 out unless he's got something to go with it.
Reporting for duty.
Yes, that was super weak turn from him there.
The battle. The battle.
For Nazatah.
Reporting for duty. Reporting for duty.
guess you're getting silenced.
Your magic shall not save you.
The battle! The battle! Reporting for duty.
So he just run out of gas there. He's probably got like a hand of Blessing of Kings.
The victory.
You know, we just overwhelmed him with consecrations. You know, every time he tried to build up, it was like, yep, we'll just kill all your guys again. So he had all the Blessing of Kings, I had all the consecrations. And he had more Argent Protectors than me as well. But he had no weapons. I don't think we saw a single weapon. Like the fact that Swamp Ooze was close to win our opening hand and went all the way through the entire game. So this one might be a little bit tougher, finally coming up against a mage.
I will fight with honor.
And going second as well. Very, very tedious here. But these cards are really cool against mages, as is the Jungle Panther. We're definitely coining out the Wild Pyromancer here. And we're just praying he makes a minion rather than frostbolting it. Frostbolt will make me sad. And that will make me very happy. Awesome. I'm fine with him doing that.
I wonder.
Yeah, that works for me. So he's got a minion in his hand and he's, you know, just thinking about it so hard.
Not on my watch.
Now we get to put a bunch of pressure on him, and we get to negate his turn 2 with the Earthen Ring Farseer. Could beat his guy up. I guess that works.
This is my responsibility.
Eyes are open.
Job done.
Frostbolt to follow it up. Or you're just going to get beaten up. I'm playing these out in case he has a blizzard.
For duty.
Because obviously if I played a Jungle Panther out, I just lose like yet another card to it.
Engaging TC-130 Mental Dislocator.
Consecrate still
It's time for a little blood.
cleans the board here due to the Wild Pyromancer.
To battle!
And puts him down on a pretty low life total now, so he really has to start worrying. And we've got like weapons and obviously this Reckless Rocketeer to keep sticking that pressure on him. And also, you know, the Jungle Panther does the same, because very hard card to deal with. Well, as is the Berserker. It's just such a fat ass on it. So, you know, he's probably got like a polymorph or a fireball in his hand. He's like, I don't really want a fireball 3-2. And it's like, yes, yes you do. You just gotta use it if you got one. You know, really nothing else to say in the matter other than that. So the reason I'm attacking him here is the Jungle Panther puts him to 5, and the Reckless Rocketeer will kill him.
What we do.
It's nice of him to enrage her. It's also a very risky play on his part. If I don't have a silence. Put him to 2? Or just make the big guy? I think big guys work quite well there.
What to do? What to do?
Get in there and fight, maggot!
I have no time for games.
And that ends the game. Which is awesome. So he dies with 4 cards in his hand. Just too slow of a deck, I mean... What else is to say there? He wasn't really abusing what mages should be doing. He didn't really have Cone of Coals and Blizzards and Flame Strikes and stuff like that. Quite a weak bunch of cards, really. Because I went second and I was putting the pressure on him. You know, he had like an extra mana every single turn and I'm beating him up. You know, he should have mulliganed his opening hand by... But turn 2 he shot my 3-2, my Wild Pyromancer. He should have just made a guy there. I mean, you know, he is walking into what's in my hand, but... he doesn't know that. I'm going to keep the Hand of Protection. It's pretty useful against warriors.
Greetings.
But he needed to just be playing minions, and he just wasn't playing minions. So he never put me under any pressure, and I just got to beat him up because of it, really. Now again, remember that Hand of Protection does not work with Wild Pyromancer at all. Really important to remember this. You know, because you play the Wild Pyromancer down, then you put Hand of Protection on it, and it immediately takes the Hand of Protection off. So it's okay for doing like 1 damage to everything, but... it's not really anything to be proud of. So I'd have liked to have played the 3-2 here, because he can like coin out a 3-3 and stuff like that. And then, you know, you can Divine Shield and kill it, but obviously you can't do that with a 2-3. but you can like play the Wild Pyromancer, then Divine Shield afterwards to do that final 1 point of damage. You know, if you're desperate. Seems fine to me. Guess we're just making a 3-2. As we draw both of our Stormwind champions. So we got a lot of late game. Not so much early game here. Luckily we're going first, which helps us out a little bit, and we got a couple of weapons in there, and got these consecrations to maybe hold on.
I wonder.
Try this.
Yep, that's pretty good. Pretty good. And we are struggling now. We're just like the weakest of weak source plays here. It's like, yeah. You go, girl. So, just a bad draw, nothing else to say in the matter. Again though, that's a terrible turn from him. He should have been making minions and sort of improving his board position there. While I just like sit here doing nothing.
Reporting for duty.
Like, woo! Go me! I've got like a full house here. 3 consecrations and 2 Stormwind champions. So, this is just like quite possibly the worst game of Hearthstone I've ever had, with a ridiculously fast deck and nothing. And at this point he's thinking, what the hell is in that guy's hand? He's just thinking, this has got to be like just the sickest, fattest minions in my hand. Yep, that is a really good card. Really good card. Wow. I've got like a minion. Finally.
Reporting for duty.
Might as well use the Hand of Protection, there's no real better time for it. Cleave to take out a 1-1 seems just really bad.
X marks the spot.
Yep, just getting beaten up because my hand is officially terrible. Like, beyond terrible. But I'm making the big guy because he can't deal with it. So I'm going to get beaten up for a turn, but then I get to like double consecrate, and hopefully that'll clear the board. Well, yeah, it'll definitely clear the board.
Crusade!
So it's like, woo, go me.
Give me a quest.
Try this.
Yep, but that's going to kill me, so nothing we can do about that. No cards in my deck to help me out here, just on all over really rubbish hand. And there's nothing you can do. Nothing you can do when you just draw your 2 expensive cards off the top of the deck. I didn't play badly. I just went, what am I meant to do with this? I mean, that was like, I would say an abnormality for what my deck is. When you look at the mana curve, for me to like have nothing on turns 5 and 6 and things like that, and 4 and 3. Is this the same guy again? Is this Uncle again? Was that the guy we were playing before? He really wants cards to use a coin like that, to be honest.
Do you like to play with fire?
And again, you know, got no turn 3 play here. And he's playing Nightblade, awesome.
For justice. For duty.
So, you know, we should be putting pressure on him, and we've just not got a hand to put pressure on him.
For justice.
So we just have to do that.
Give me a quest.
I'll get around.
So we've got a choice here, Consecrate or play Gurubashi Berserker.
I wonder.
Let's go with the
For
Berserker.
justice. The battle.
Obviously it's in Soul Fire range after being attacked by the 3-2. But it's also just a huge guy for him to have to deal with. Guess we can always make our own flesh-eating ghoul, right? Nah. Probably best just to consecrate here.
Reporting for duty.
You know, try and have a minion on the board for when the Stormwind champion comes down. Or, of course, we can just make a flesh-eating ghoul and consecrate again. You know, the game is totally different when you're going first. You know, it's become like we struggled against the Warlocks going second, but you know, going first, it's like we have the minions in play. So even though he's got like just this 7 cards in his hand, you know, because he used the coin to draw a card on turn 1,
So many possibilities.
it means he's always behind it on the tempo from that point onwards. Well, he goes with the big guy. So I think the correct play is just
Behold the might
beat him up.
of the battle.
We must cleanse the Sunwell.
Yeah, it works pretty well.
Reporting for duty.
Time for sure.
I'm just king of the 1/1s. One day I will make a 5/5 with that guy. That was a misplay from him there.
Do I have to?
Giving my ghoul one more power before attacking it.
You call that a win?
We could wild Pyromancer first. Yeah.
Do you like to play with fire?
Reporting for duty.
There he goes again with Sense Demons. Well, we know what this is. We absolutely knew that was a Dread Inferno when he did that. But he is dead next turn.
I hear you got a problem. It's time for a little blood.
If he doesn't have a taunt.
Do I have to?
You can't target that.
Your
It's got
magic
stealth.
shall not save you.
The frost wolves stand.
And he's dead. So that's awesome sauce.
Problem solved.
And that, I think, all came about because he wasted his coin to draw a card on turn 1. So I got to beat him up and put a lot more pressure on him. You know, all for the sake of him having an extra card. He should have saved that coin to power something out a turn quicker. And stop me from, you know, attacking him. So that coin could have prevented, like, maybe 4 or 5 damage, something like that, and meant he goes on to win the game. Because, I mean, you know, that turn we killed him, he had 4 really sort of fat minions on the board there. I think we lobbed the Consecration back, because we're going to get a few more of those. This is not a great hand against a mage. Unless we come up against a mage who makes lots of minions, which we don't seem to do. I personally think the mages who do make lots of minions are awesome, and are actually pretty good at the game.
Do you like to play with fire?
Please waste your turn too by burning my guy for 1. I would appreciate it enough. Thank you! Ah, happy days. Happy days.
Eyes are open.
Warms the cockles of my heart when people do that. When they, like, they've got an opening hand, and they've got nothing for 1 or 2 mana. Okay. think we just put the Spellbreaker out there and just like carry on pressuring the guy, really.
Your magic shall not save you.
You know, if he makes like a particularly scary minion, we've got these True Silver Champions and the Consecrations here, so I'd rather just keep beating him up. It's like it doesn't really help him, like you know, doing frostbolts and stuff like that, because I'm still here on 30 life.
Squire, attend me.
Ready, sir.
So we've got a few choices here. We could consecrate, but I think the True Silver Champion is looking pretty funky.
Justice.
Thinking about what he can do next turn with his mana.
To battle.
I wonder.
Obviously he needs to take out the flesh-eating ghoul. There's no other play but that. Let's see if he gets greedy. No, he doesn't get greedy. Does it the smart way there. You may have a 3-2.
Reporting for duty.
For justice.
Handle it.
That's a pretty weak minion from him there.
Reporting
For
for
justice.
Just gonna try and sit on this equality for as long as possible, really.
Sometimes I forget things.
Well, he got there eventually. Awesome.
behold the might of Stormwind. To battle. Reporting for duty.
Justice.
That was a pretty good draw there. Again, just, you know, gets back to putting pressure on him. Finally getting him to play some of these fireballs that have been sat in his hand because he thinks they're good. You know, he's just basically done a deck of spells and it's just showing. Like, at no point is it actually trying to kill me here.
It's time for a little blood.
For justice!
Meh, let's take the big guy out.
Reporting for duty.
So if he's a bad player, he'll enrage his own guy and hit me for 5. Like, that's if he's a really bad player. If he's a smart player, he'll just get them to bash into each other and then finish mine off. I guess we have to consecrate here, right?
Do you like to play with fire?
I was hoping it'd be yet another copy there. Can we bait? Is this a counterspell, do you think? Feels like it's a counterspell, doesn't it? You've got to think this is a counterspell, but I don't think we can afford to throw away inequality.
Reporting for duty.
So the plan there was play the Wild Pyromancer, and if he copies it, then consecrate afterwards. It costs me like a Wild Pyromancer if he doesn't have it, but we do know he's got a Vaporize now, so hopefully we can trigger his Vaporize with this little tiny 1/1, right?
To battle!
Oh, awesome. I don't really want to play the healer and give him a 4/5.
For justice! Reporting for duty.
So I'm going to wait for a weaker minion to come up. But you know, I'm still at 24 life and same amount of cards in hand, pretty much. You know, just like picking every fireball that turns up isn't really that smart. You know, he hasn't played any minions, so we just kind of sit here. We might have to equality.
Reporting for duty.
Yeah, it might be the only thing we can do after we give him a guy, really, but I think we can hold off for another turn, because he's not really pressuring us at all here.
We must cleanse the Sunwell.
Yeah, it's a pretty good draw. I think we put the Protector out first to bait, because like the Protector itself is a weak card, because like you give something a shield, he just pings it off with his mage ability. So by itself, you know, it's actually not that impressive. Okay, so it's not one of those. Awesome. Feels pretty good spot, I guess. So it could be the redirect spell or the epic that prevents lethal damage. And now we get our consecration.
duty.
So, you know, if we'd actually had some of our meteor minions out, would have put him under a huge amount of pressure here. But he's just got like a hands of, like maybe a pyroblast and another fireball or something like that. Yep, it's the old, I lack skill, but that's fine because I have epics.
I don't have enough mana. Reporting for duty.
Where shall I strike?
So he's got like the best minion in the game there. It's like, look how skillful I am. And that was a mistake from him there, not killing my guy.
Join or die, or both.
But really not anything we can do at this point, so we gave him this one.
Victory.
Well played.
Don't know why he's saying well played. Like, look at me, I have no skill. So, pretty disappointing, finish with 6 wins. One of my worst results in such a long time there, but the manner it happened is like completely standard. Like one game that we just couldn't win against a warrior, where we just went, yeah, none of these cards cost less than 4 mana. That game where our opponent did absolutely nothing, so his entire deck was based around 1 card. You know, so open a legendary and hope my opponent doesn't silence it. And the third game, which was just really tough against a warlock, you know, the warlock put a bunch of pressure on there. Two golden commons there. Like, one of them's slightly playable, one's completely unplayable. And the Nourish again's pretty unplayable as well. But, bit of a druid thing going on there with the 2 rares. Anyway guys, thanks for checking this video out. Didn't make it to 7 wins, but still got lucky and got a bunch of gold back there. Got a common to disenchant, get that out of the way, eh? And we shall see you next time.